So I've decided next up for the axis will be fifth light. Let's see if we can make this a bit more interesting again. Let's just flip him over. So we start off fresh. We are using tracks. We have got an overall -1, but the fresh and the optimum would get us back to 0, is that right? I think so. So let's go with straight roll. Get a 9, full activation, just what they needed. So what we're actually going to do is we are relying again on our ability to pull rabbits from hats, and we're going to move without placing any objectives. Effectively, we're going to flank. Or attempt to flank the support group. Just move these. Now we're going to have to move our okay, so no actually you can't see that, can you? Sorry, just realized I've moved most of the formation. So what we've got is fifth light. I've swung around the edge of the support group using the breach in the wire there, and strung into position there, because the orders that I wrote for them were A 0.207, which is where this chap here is, and secondary, I'll fire pass. So that doesn't look too bad for fifth light. That looks like they are achieving what they wanted to achieve. The big thing being, what we now need to do is roll a second activation, but we're pretty hot on that because basics are 3, but we're fresh, so it's a 2. So a 2 and above, we get a second activation. And we rolled a 5, so that's definitely a second activation. So this time, we're still fresh, so we're still +1. We lose that for the game, German formation, -1. So we're back to 0. We are optimal, which could give us 1, but we're also ghost, which takes us back to 0. So I'm going to say we're 0. I'm going to say we're just doing a straight roll here. And we rolled a 6, which is a partial. Now that then makes it interesting in a bad way, because I'm not sure we're quite close enough, are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. Wow. Going to be an interesting activation indeed. So partial means obviously we don't get a double objective, we only get a single objective. Cowabunga. And our movements are halved, which is a killer. So I think all I'm going to do there is I would leave him, but I would flip him to his deployed side. And he can stack with him. He's going to be done very shortly. Let's just turn him over. And why not flip him to his deployed side as well? 1.5 to get to there. Move the HQ up to there. He's then giving a little bit of sucker. Right, command range is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It does mean that our armor actually can't really reach. But by the by, we have to go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We engage. We can't engage the support because there is no support. Interesting. So we're in attack by fire territory, of which we would get 2. So let's do those. In terrain, I believe is 4, 5, or 6. Let's just again double check that. It is indeed. So 2 fires for first of the 5th. 1 hit. We've got 5 and a 3. So he took a single hit. So he's down to a 5. So that might have been a mistake, actually, reflecting on that. I think what we should have probably done is had 2 pops. No, we can't. We can't attack a hex twice. So it does come down to this, basically. It comes down to this chap. So because he has no assault arrow, he can't make a regular attack. It has to be a shock attack. Tactical movement. Which fills me full of dread. Three movement points or less. Well, there's an interesting little one. How many movement points does it cost to get into that terrain? Because that's rough terrain. There's a question. Can you use Can you get the benefit of the track? See, in most cases you're not allowed. I say in most cases. In other games, OCS as an example, you can't use the benefit of that in an overrun situation. Use a shock attack the same as an overrun. Road raids can be used in this determination. There you go, there's the clarity. So we can make a shock attack, and because it's that hex and all the rest, we'll kind of have to. So what are we looking at? We're looking at, for the Brits, we're looking at an AR of 4, no support, no prepared defense. Terrain will take us to a 5. And that's it. The Germans start off with a 6. Can't get an assist because it's a shock attack. No suppression because you can only use air, can't use artillery, so there's no suppression mission, so there's no +2. It's not a double objective zone, so there's no +1. So I believe the only other thing we've got left is a +1 for being a hard red unit, so we end up with a 7. So we're looking at a +2 on the combat table, and I'm hoping I've got this right for everybody, because I don't think I've actually ever really done a shock attack. +2. Wow. And we rolled a 3, one of the lowest rolls I've done. So a 5 is an attacker 1. Casualty. And I think if I remember rightly, he went from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would have cost him 6. That costs him one of his fire events, so in other words, he can go again. You can attack that hex again, although he's down to 3 steps, it makes no difference. And the basic odds would be the same again, so +2, so he tries again. That's an 11. And that's it. 11 gives him a D1 retreat, would you believe? So kind of from the sublime to the ridiculous. And interesting that by rolling solo, he lost the traffic, and the traffic Might have hindered them, I don't know. Anyway, the full retreat basically means that we lose that hex and that the Germans take it. He drops a step, he flips, and he retreats. And actually the HQ is within 2, which would give me HQ issues. So I think he'd actually go off map to come back. Obviously this is the last turn, so it doesn't really matter, but we're going to take him away. So, wow. Hope I've got that right, because that's a heck of a thing. The 5th Light have just charged straight in there and taken back our fire pass in one swift mobile assault.